One DC team backed up Superman, another challenged the Spectre, a third nearly replaced the Titans. But today, it's like they never existed. No final issues, no reboots, not even a passing reference. They weren't background extras. These were full-fledged teams with powers, arcs, and purpose. But somewhere between hype and continuity, DC dropped them without warning. So why did these teams vanish, even after making a mark in the comics? Here are 10 DC Comics teams that quietly vanished from the comics. At number 10 is the Power Company. They first appeared in JLA issue 61 back in 2002, created by Kurt Busiek. The concept was simple, a superhero team that worked for money. Led by Josiah Power, a former lawyer turned metahuman, the group ran like a law firm. Members included Skyrocket, Witchfire, Bork, Sapphire, Striker Z, and Manhunter, each with unique powers and backstories. They took on corporate clients, fought villains for pay, and even backed up the Justice League in major threats. But despite the fresh concept, the series struggled. It lasted just 18 issues before DC pulled the plug in 2003. In the comics, the team was taken out off-panel during a crisis in San Francisco. After that, they were never seen together again. No reboots, no reunions, only a few solo cameos in background panels. The Power Company vanished quietly, and today they remain one of DC's boldest experiments, forgotten before they ever had a real shot. At number 9 is Primal Force. They first appeared during Zero Hour in 1994 and were quickly given their own title. Led by a mysterious sorcerer named Dr. Mist, the team was formed to deal with threats too mystical for the Justice League. The lineup included Jack-O-Lantern, Golem, Claw, Meridian, and Will Power. Red Tornado and Black Condor joined later during the run. They operated from a hidden base tied to Earth's ley lines and faced magical threats like Cataclysm and the Demon Lord Satanus. But despite the supernatural setup, the series failed to stand out among DC's other titles. After just 15 issues, poor sales led to cancellation. The final battle took place in Central Park, and by the end, the team had disbanded. Since then, Primal Force has never returned. No appearances, no reunions, and no follow-ups in any major DC storyline. The team quietly vanished, with its members going their separate ways, forgotten in DC history. At number 8 is Force of July. The Force of July was a patriotic metahuman team. They first appeared in Batman and The Outsiders Annual Issue 1 in 1984. The team worked directly for the US government and was created as a patriotic response to rising superhero threats. Their members included Major Victory, Lady Liberty, Silent Majority, Mayflower, and Sparkler. Each one was designed to represent American ideals, but with a dangerous, aggressive edge. They believed they were protecting the country, but ended up clashing with heroes like the Outsiders. Over time, they were used in morally gray operations, including the Janus Directive crossover in 1989. That mission ended everything. Sparkler and Mayflower were killed. Others were seriously injured. Major Victory joined the Suicide Squad and died during a failed mission against Eclipso. After that, the Force of July quietly disappeared from DC's universe. No reboots and no second chances, just a forgotten chapter in DC's Cold War-era storytelling. These next 3 teams had everything: solo titles, crossovers, even timelines. And yet, DC wiped them clean. At number 7 is Teen Titans. They were a rebel cell of teen heroes from a dark future where Earth was ruled by Lord Chaos, the twisted son of Donna Troy. To stop him, they traveled back in time from the year 2001 to the 1990s to prevent his birth. The team included Battalion, Knight Rider, Mirage, Kilowatt, Redwing, and Terra. They first appeared in New Titans Annual Issue 7, 1991, and launched their own comic in 1992. The series stood out with a fresh roster, dark origins, and major crossovers. But in 1994, everything changed. During Zero Hour, DC revealed that their timeline was artificial, created by the villain Monarch. Most of the team was erased from existence, and the comic was cancelled in issue 24. Only 3 members survived: Mirage, Terra, and Deathwing, who merged into the main DC continuity. The rest vanished. Since then, the team has never reunited, a lost chapter erased by DC's shifting timelines. At number 6 is Sovereign 7. They debuted in 1995, written by legendary X-Men writer Chris Claremont. The team was made up of 7 former Royals, superpowered survivors from destroyed worlds. They came to Earth after their kingdoms were wiped out by a cosmic threat called the Rapture. Their leader was Cascade, and others included Reflex, Finale, Cruiser, Network, Rampart, and Indigo. Together, they ran missions from a coffee shop that secretly acted as a gateway between realities. The series mixed science fiction, magic, and classic superhero battles, but there was one problem. Claremont owned the characters, not DC. That meant they couldn't appear in other comics. As sales dropped, the title ended after 36 issues in 1998. In the final issue, DC gave them a strange goodbye. The entire story was revealed to be a fictional book being read by someone inside the DC universe. After that, the team vanished completely. No returns, no cameos. Sovereign 7 was erased, both in the story and in DC history. At number 5 is the Blasters. They were created during DC's Invasion event in 1988. 50 humans were captured by aliens and forced through a deadly test. Only 6 survived, and each developed strange powers. Led by Snapper Carr, the team included Dust Devil, who could control sand, Frag, who exploded and reformed, Jolt, who had repulsion powers, and Crackpot. They called themselves the Blasters, named after the experiment that gave them their powers. After helping Earth's heroes fight the alien invasion, they left Earth and became space adventurers. In 1989, they got their own one-shot comic, but it didn't lead to a full series. Their final mission appeared in Valor, 1992, where they tried to free prisoners from an alien jail. The plan failed, the station collapsed, and the team disappeared. Years later, Snapper revealed he never found them again. Since then, the Blasters have never returned. No comics, no reboots. Their final mission marked the end. No closure, no survivors confirmed. These next teams weren't obscure. They had magic, multiverse links, and Justice League ties. Still, they disappeared. At number 4 is the Conglomerate. The Conglomerate was a corporate-sponsored superhero team. They first appeared in Justice League Quarterly Issue 1, Winter 1990, backed by corporate sponsors and created as a for-profit version of the Justice League. Led by Booster Gold, the team included Gypsy, Praxis, Echo, Reverb, Vapor, and Maxi Man, each with flashy powers and even flashier logos. They weren't just saving lives, they were selling heroism. The team clashed with villains like Despero and occasionally operated alongside the Justice League, but always under corporate influence. But corporate interests kept pulling strings. Missions were chosen not for justice, but for PR. At one point, they were nearly replaced by a fake conglomerate from Quard. Evil copies made to boost ratings. Booster Gold eventually rebelled, forcing a change in direction. But the damage was done. By 1993, the Conglomerate faded from DC's pages. No revivals, no final send-off. They were a bold experiment, heroes caught between business and duty. At number 3 is Shadow Pact. The team formed in 2005's Day of Vengeance to stop the Spectre from erasing Earth's magic. Nightmaster gathered Detective Chimp, Enchantress, Blue Devil, Ragman, and Nightshade inside the hidden Oblivion Bar and led them into battle. They won, then stayed together, promising to handle threats no one else would touch. Their ongoing series ran 25 issues between 2006 and 2008. Highlights included defeating the Pentacle, freeing a town frozen by demons, and facing the Sun King at the end of the world. Stories balanced sword and sorcery action with real cost. Enchantress fighting her darker half, Blue Devil mourning a curse, Nightmaster carrying the weight of leadership. Sales stayed modest, and issue 25 quietly closed the bar doors. Nightmaster left to heal, Detective Chimp and Enchantress drifted to Justice League Dark, and the rest vanished off panel. After the Flashpoint reboot, Shadow Pact disappeared from continuity, but some members later reappeared during DC Rebirth era. At number 2 is the Forgotten Heroes. Formed in Action Comics issue 552, 1984, this team brought together overlooked characters from DC's past. Led by the Immortal Man, a caveman who reincarnates endlessly, the roster included Animal Man, Cave Carson, Congo Bill, Dolphin, Rick Flag Jr., Rip Hunter, and Dane Dorrance. Each had once headlined their own stories, but by the 80s they'd been pushed aside. Their mission was urgent: stop Vandal Savage from destroying Superman using ancient golden pyramids hidden across Earth. With Superman's help, they succeeded, but even after that, they were treated as outsiders, only called when the threat was too strange for the Justice League. In Crisis on Infinite Earths, Immortal Man died saving the universe. With him gone, the team fell apart. Members scattered, Animal Man got his series, Flag rejoined the Suicide Squad, and the rest disappeared into limbo. After their last mission, the team simply faded out like their name always warned. At number 1 is Hero Hotline. They weren't icons or legends, just working-class heroes answering calls no one else would. Created in 1989, Hero Hotline was a team of quirky, underdog metahumans who ran a paid emergency hotline for everyday problems. Led by the mysterious coordinator on the phone lines, heroes like Stretch, Diamondette, Microwave Bell, and Mr. Muscle worked shifts to catch burglars, calm zoo animals, and even heat coffee. Because someone had to. The comic balanced humor with heart, spotlighting those who did the jobs the Justice League wouldn't. However, after just 6 issues, Hero Hotline disappeared without a trace. The final comic concluded quietly, providing no closure or final mission. The service continued to operate in the background, but DC never revived the team. Most members of Hero Hotline didn't play significant roles in major storylines, although the team made brief cameos in Teen Titans Annual, 2006, and Superman Beyond, 2008. Since 1989, Hero Hotline has remained largely untouched, rarely referenced, and never revived. These teams vanished without closure. Which one deserves a comeback? Comment down below and let us know. Also, press the like and subscribe button for regular updates.